Hi, this is April Whitt, Fernbank Science Center, and welcome to the sky this week for December 13th through 19th, 2020. We start off with a Geminid meteor shower on Sunday night the 13th. Look for some bright planets later in the week, and also look for where the North Star is in your night sky. At the beginning of this week, we're looking toward the eastern part of the sky, the direction where the sun appears to rise. And just after the sun, 7:45 p.m. or so, a little bit later after sunset, some of the bright winter stars are visible. You might remember Orion from a couple of weeks ago, that three stars in a row that make his belt. And if you look a little bit later in the evening, those three stars appear to be higher in the sky than they were earlier. And there are two stars that look like twins, the Gemini twins, Castor and Pollux. They're a little higher on the sky from Orion. Orion is a big constellation. If you spread out your fingers as wide as they go and stretch your arm out as far as you can, keep your elbow straight from the tip of your little finger to the tip of your thumb, it's going to stretch from the top of Orion down to his knees. So that's a pretty large constellation across the southeast part of the sky. What we're looking for, though, are those two twin-looking stars, the Gemini twins. That's where the meteor shower, the shooting stars, will appear to radiate from this area of the sky where those two stars are. Now, this is about 9:30 or so at night. As the Earth continues to turn, and the stars appear to move across the south part of the sky, those Gemini twins will climb higher and higher. By midnight, best time for watching the meteors, between midnight on Sunday the 13th and about 4 in the morning on Monday the 14th, that's going to be the best time to watch. The meteor radiant, those twins, will be high up in the sky. It'll be nice and dark. Hopefully, the weather will be clear and we'll be able to see some bright shooting stars. A little bit later on in the week, some of those same bright stars are still there. About 10:45 in the evening, you can see where Orion is. Now we're going to look a little bit farther toward the south, and the bright planet Mars is still visible. Mars is on the sky. It looks like a bright pinkish star. And over the next month or so, as Earth moves along our orbit, Mars moves along its, it will appear that Earth, as we move farther from Mars in space, Mars will appear not quite as bright over the next few weeks as it has over the last few weeks. Keep an eye out, though. Mars is still up pretty much most of the night, still pretty high toward the south part of the sky, and pretty easy to find. It's a nice bright one to look for. If you're interested in that planet Uranus, the label right there, you'll need a telescope. Uranus is so much farther from the sun than Earth or Mars that it's almost impossible to see with just your eyes. You need a telescope to find that one. Later on in the week, look just after sunset on December 17th down toward the southwest part of the sky. We start off the week with a new moon on the 14th, and a few days later, as the moon moves along its orbit, it will be a little thin crescent fingernail, a waxing crescent moon. And on the 17th, it will be fairly near where Jupiter and Saturn are together on the nighttime sky. Something pretty to look for. Keep an eye on that Jupiter and Saturn pair. Like we said a few weeks ago, those are the two largest planets in the solar system. They're 5 times and 10 times farther away from the sun than Earth is. And occasionally, about every 20 years or so, they seem to be fairly near each other in the sky. But every once in a while, they appear to be really close together on the nighttime sky. On December 21st, that's the next time we get to see that. If you have incredibly good eyesight, you may be able to separate the two of them into two different dots, but they will probably appear as one really bright sort of star-looking object over there toward the southwest on the 21st. The last time they were this close together, from our view on Earth, was back in 1623. And if you want to see it the next time, stick around. 2080 will be the next time those two were that close together. Take a look at the northern sky. We've been looking toward the south. Now turn around, face your nose in the opposite direction, and you'll be facing the northern part of the sky. A few weeks ago, we were using the Big Dipper to find the North Star. And there's a little pattern of stars, these two kind of brightish ones, pretty dim ones. Oh, wool tail. That's the North Star, Polaris, right there. It's a little hard to find the Big Dipper just after the sun goes down. Right now, it looks like it's down in the trees for us. But if you watch, like add some lines in, you can see where Ursa Minor, that little bear, is. The tip of his tail is Polaris. Right now, the Big Dipper, part of Ursa Major, the big bear, is down in the trees. But there's another constellation, a little zigzag, Cassiopeia, the queen. She appears sitting on her throne, and this zigzag W shape for Cassiopeia. Use that center star right on her stomach and draw a line down in the sky. That little zigzag, fairly easy to find, not all that large a pattern on the sky, maybe a fist size across or so. Find that center star of the upside down W, draw a line straight down, and it will take you to Polaris, the North Star. If you can find Polaris on the night sky, you can also find your latitude. You'll know where you are on the Earth. The altitude of Polaris, how many degrees it is above the northern horizon, is your latitude on the Earth. Thanks very much for listening this week. Keep an eye out on Fernbank, the Science Center's website, www.fernbank.edu. Take a look at our virtual planetarium programs on Friday evenings. Keep an eye out for the latest of what's happening in science, and have a great week.